Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello students, welcome to Swayam Prabha. The course title is Principles of Marketing. The lecture title is New Product Development. This is Module 8, Lecture 2. I am Dr. Shoma Sengupta, Associate Professor Commerce, Kamala Nehru College, University of Delhi. In this lecture, we will cover the following topics: New Product Development, Concept and Process, Product Support Services. Concept of new product development. In case of product life cycle curve, we have drawn an analogy between the life of product and life of human beings. Here we will draw an analogy between the conception of a child and that of a product. Now, new product development is the complete process of bringing a new product to the market. A coordination between different departments like research and development, manufacturing, engineering, finance, purchasing, and marketing department is essential for the development of the new product. It begins with the marketing department first, assessing about the new product in terms of the need and the gaps in the market. So they will get the information from the market, and accordingly they will direct the product designers to conceive that idea of a product and develop a prototype and all. So a cross-functional team is then created for the development of the new product. Now, according to Crawford, a product for which the company needs a new marketing and in which the substantial changes are conveyed but excludes any changes that may require simple promotion is defined as new product. Now, why an organization will go for a new product? One, it is a new organization. It wants to start the organization, and for that they require a product, and that is a new product. In an existing organization, they have product lines and now they want to expand and enter into a new product. So that may be another reason. Or their old product or old model, the life cycle curve of that model is showing decline, and that's why they want to introduce a new product. So for different reasons, a company can think about conceiving and starting a new product. Importance of new product development. So as we have said that a company may have different motives of creating a new product. And to cope up with the changes in the market, again, you have to think about new product. So the first one is market changes. When the market is posing certain opportunities and threats to the existing product, or it is expanding, or certain changes are taking place, then the organization can think of introducing a new product. Then there can be a strategy called company growth. To meet that strategy of company growth, you wish to enter into a new segment of product line or a new product line or new markets, and for that again you create a new product. So that will be beneficial for the organization. It will ensure growth of the company. Now, shorter life cycle is another problem, and for that it is important to create a new product, because the old products, every product has a limited life cycle, and sooner or later they will go out of the market. So if the company is having an existing product, it might be possible that it is at the decline stage, or they predict that sooner or later this product will be abandoned, so they come out with a new product. Again, to meet the competitive pressure, the organization can think of creating new product to meet the challenges posed by the competitors, or to beat the competitors, or to make your line a full line. So that may be the reason. Then there may be a problem of waste recycling. For that, again, a solution may be you can make a new product out of the residual also, and that is another importance of new product development. You can use your waste, channelize your waste and create a new product. Innovations are happening everywhere, and the innovations make life easier. So new product has to be developed to make the life easier of people. Utilization of excess capacity may be another reason as well as importance. So if you come out with new product, you can use the excess capacity, and your overall cost will be optimal or optimally low. So that these are the benefits as well as the reasons for new product development. Classification of new products. A new product may be entirely new, or it is repositioned as new, or it is entering a new market, or some features or changes have modified, and because of it is new product. On the basis of all those things, we can classify the new product into different categories. The first one is major innovation. As the name suggests, it is absolutely new in the market, and it creates new markets instead of old ones. So you don't have a old prototype or old existing product. You are coming out with entirely new product. So this is developed by new technological developments. It provides new experiences to the customers. For example, smartphones, when they enter the market, that was an entirely new product. Computers, tablets, so these are entirely new innovations. Attract potential customers by claiming to ease their lives. Now the advantages are greater profits in case of major innovation, greater chances of profits, increased reputation of business among customers, employees, shareholders, and potential investors. So all the stakeholders will be happy that you are coming out with a new innovation. But there are certain risks involved. Potential customers may doubt about the worth of the major innovation product, so they will be hesitant to spend money as reliability and usefulness of the product is not proven. Marketer need to convince them that they need the product. So this is major innovation. Another category of new product is product improvement. So they are not produced with the aim of creating a new market. They are just an improvement. So it's a kind of a product differentiation. New features may be added to the product. The target customers of competitors are there in the market. So product differentiation strategy is used. For example, in food industry like Diet Coke, Diet Free, or say fat-free, allergen-free products, gluten-free products. So all these are available. These are product improvements. The third category is product additions. So it is more of an imitation product which is used by the marketer to this is created by producers of original product. You are just imitating, and you are taking the advantage of low cost because you haven't spent anything on research and development or creation of new product. So new features, benefits as claimed by such a product may be very limited because it is just a imitation product. It is used by small businesses which have limited resources. They sell with lower prices because of the less cost of production. Manufacturers producing original products try to prevent imitation products by using marketing, countermeasures, and legal recourse. It is difficult to find a distribution line for imitation product because they have low credibility. The fourth category of new product is repositioned products. Repositioned products are promoted in a new way to attract different kinds of customers. So you are making certain changes in the positioning. Maybe you change the brand name to make it more worthwhile for the customers to relate the product with themselves. So for that purposes, you reposition it. They are just positioned in a different way in the market. So they are not entirely new products. For example, there is a Lucozade energy drink business which changed the product's image from a drink for recovering people from illness to a drink for people interested in sports. So they have repositioned the entire product. Then Booz Allen and Hamilton, they came out with another classification of new product which is more or less similar to what we have discussed, the 4 types of new product. So one is technological breakthrough. that is entirely new innovation, we can say, one of a kind of products such as AIDS vaccine and now COVID vaccine can be technological breakthrough. Significant improvement, considerable improvement of existing products, modified products, insignificant improvement in the existing one, products new to the business, imitation products which are already sold in the market but business produces them for the first time. Repositioning, products produced currently by the business in a given market and this business starts to produce it for the new markets. Cost reduction, same products with less prices. So these are the classification of new product. Stages of new product development. Now, product development is a step-by-step process which requires long-range planning. Long-range planning includes identifying the needs of the customers, evaluating the competition or competing products, finding gaps in the market, generating ideas, finding out their viability, etc. So we can discuss the new product development under 8 stages, and these stages are idea generation, idea screening and evaluation, concept development and testing, business analysis, product development, test marketing, commercialization, review of market performance. So you can see a whole lot of 8 stages are involved in new product development. Now this is a very important decision because even if you come out with a very creative or innovative idea, it might be possible that though it is creative but it is not viable in current scenario or in that market, or the customers do not require it in certain and even if they require it, it is not profitable venture for the organization because the customers who want it may not afford it. So these things have to be found out and then only you can in a full-fledged way introduce a new product in the market. Now, at the end of each of these 8 stages, business should make a decision. Continue to the next stage or leave to develop products or look for extra information, because this is a huge decision, huge investments will be made by the company when they will commercialize a thoroughly new product in the market. The first stage is idea generation. Now, it is systematic search for new product ideas. Although many of the ideas keep on coming from different channels, but still you will find many of these ideas, they go waste because they are not viable or not practical solutions to different problems. So a lot of ideas are generated till the business finds the most suitable ones. So thousands of ideas, lakhs of ideas, they come up, but only a few see the light of the day. So the sources of idea generation may be internal sources or external sources. Internal sources may be the research and development department of the organization, which is continuously developing new ideas, new prototypes. Salespeople who give information, who have the information or the nerve of the market, they know. So they may come out with new product ideas. All the other executives working in different departments of the organization, they can also come out with new ideas about the product. Certain intrapreneurial programs also takes place in some of the companies which encourage employees to think new product ideas. Many a times companies, they have a contest kind of thing and they encourage the employees to suggest a new product. Now, external sources are customers, competitors, distributors or suppliers. Other sources like seminars, universities, investors, wherever people go, they discuss, they come out with certain new ideas. Now, many of the companies, they install idea management system to channelize the new ideas. Now, it is a central point where new ideas are collected, reviewed and evaluated, as is the case with management information system, which is a central point to channelize or collect, channelize or review all the information. Likewise, you can have an idea management system in the organization. Stage 2 is idea screening and evaluation. Now, all the ideas generated are screened and evaluated. In many companies, they have an idea committee which looks after this phase. They spot good ideas and they drop the ones which are not possible or feasible in the real world. The aim is to limit the ideas to a manageable number, because there are thousands and lakhs of ideas, and all ideas you cannot just they are not viable. So ranking in terms of most useful ideas is important. This will ease new product development process at later stages. So you can play with the first idea first and check everything about it, and then you can go to the second one. So this idea committee will go through all the ideas, and they will actually make a list of a little feasible ideas, and that too they in some order. Then it will reduce cost and time spent for not useful ideas. Secondly, 3 questions that are involved in new product screening should be asked. That is the idea real? Need that will force customers to buy it. So is it possible, viable? Can the company win it? Like, will it provide a considerable benefit to the business? Are the resources enough? So company has to check their own strengths also. Is it worth doing? Is this product compatible with the business's growth strategy? So there are many other questions the company people, the idea committee or the screening committee should ask before finalizing a particular idea. Concept development and testing. Now you have an idea, you have screened that idea, you think that this idea is suitable for the company, has some kind of giving indication that it may be needed by the customers, or commercially it may be viable. Just an indication. You have to do a lot of things before finally introducing that product in the market. So at the stage 3, you will develop the product concept and test it. So the selected product ideas is presented in a detailed and meaningful way as product concept. The concept testing is applied to develop product concepts. The company tries to find out whether the consumers understand the product idea, whether the consumers need the product, new product, whether the consumers will accept the new product. So you have to ask these questions not only to yourself, to the consumers also. Kind of a survey can also be you can undertake, and then you have to go for concept testing. So steps in concept testing process are: thoughts of selected customer groups about new product concept is taken. So you can create a panel of customers, real customers, and you can ask them, interview them about the product concept. Product concept that receive the best score will be selected as a new product to be developed. So if you have more than one idea, then you can show these idea as product concept to this panelist, and out of say 2 ideas or 3 ideas, whichever idea is getting the best score will be selected for further development. Stage 4 is business analysis stage. Now you have selected a particular idea. Now you will evaluate the business attractiveness of the proposal in terms of different factors like sales or expected sales, cost, and profit projections. So here lots of calculations will be done. A kind of a business plan have to be made. Business analysis strategy is created in 2 steps. The first step is projection of new product concepts, sales. So this is most important factor, the sales projections. So sales can be projected by the market research and review of similar products sales numbers in the past. Then business calculates the risk by estimating minimum and maximum sales. Now that is possible in a normal circumstances, but in a situation like today's world, like our world is facing pandemic, then it is very difficult to actually project the minimum and maximum sales for a new product in such type of market. The second one is projection of cost and profit. All costs involved in the new product development, such as investment, operation, marketing, R&D costs and profits from sales of new product are estimated at this stage. Calculated numbers will indicate financial attractiveness of new product. If these projections are compatible with the business's objectives, it will move to the next stage. So once the idea is created and tested, the product concept is created and tested, business analysis is done, and the viability of the new product concept is checked. Now we move on to the stage 5, and that is product development. Here a prototype of the product will be designed and created by the R&D department. The prototype is hoped to satisfy and excite the consumers, have the required functional features, and convey the intended psychological characteristics to the consumer. It could be produced at a budgeted cost that you have to see while creating the prototype. It will be clear whether it can be created in a cost-effective manner or not, and within the expected time. The development of the prototype can take days, weeks, and even years. So you may miss the opportunity. So you have to see whether you will create it timely and introduce it to the market in a timed manner, so that you can take the benefit or reap in the benefit of this opportunity. Several tests are made to the prototype to ensure that the safety, attractiveness, and effectiveness of new product concept. Test process may take a while to choose the most suitable sample. Businesses either do test themselves or get a service from another business. So you can outsource this testing part to some business service provider as well. So this is product development stage. Stage 6 is test marketing. At this stage, the product and the marketing programs are introduced into more realistic market setting. So you will introduce it in the product to a small market to find out whether it is viable, whether it is liked by the customers or not. So if it is successful here, then you can go for full-fledged commercialization. So tests will be made to identify how marketing of new product concept must be conducted for the best results before going to the great expense of full introduction. So company tests the product and its entire marketing program, like positioning, pricing, promotion, advertising, distribution, branding, packaging, and budget levels. Test marketing is an enormous task, and it takes time that may allow competitors to take advantage, and also it discloses your proposition also to the competitors, so they can introduce a similar product much before you go for full-fledged commercialization. So you have to be very secretive about that also, and you have the gap between test marketing and commercialization should be as short as possible. So marketing test provides businesses a suitable marketing strategy for new product concept to be commercialized at the next stage. Passing marketing tests and going to commercialization directly may make business face with more than expected costs till the levels of exceeding profit. Therefore, it is crucial for the businesses to conduct market testing before going for commercialization at the next stage. So it will save your money also if you find that in this stage, at this stage test marketing, that something need to be done to the product or some features have to be added. So you can do that because you are getting the response from the customers on whom you are conducting the test marketing. So once the test marketing results are positive, then the company can go for full-fledged commercialization. So the stage 7 of new product development is commercialization. Test marketing gives management the information to make a final decision about whether to launch the new product. Things to be done at this stage are determining the time when new product concept will be commercialized or introduced in the market. So timing is important. Also, the scale is important. At which scale new product concept will be introduced to the market, whether small scale or big scale. Small scale such as a city, or medium scale such as a region, big scale such as a national or international market. Usually, most businesses prefer to introduce new products into the market at small or medium scales and expand the market in that process. So, even those foreign firms, when they introduce their product in Indian markets, they start with the one city and then they move on to other cities. Introduction of new products at big scale requires more capital, confidence, and capacity, which only very few businesses have. The last stage, that is stage 8 of new product development, is review of market performance. So the company may review the marketing performance of the new product. It will collect all types of data from consumers, from distributors, to find out how the new product performed in the market. Now, answers to the following questions should be explored: whether the new product is accepted by the consumers, whether the demand, sales and profits are high, whether the consumers are satisfied with the after sales services, middlemen happy, marketing staff happy with income from the new product, marketing manager whether he can change the marketing mix if required, whether the competitors are introducing a similar kind of product. So according to the answers which you get for these questions, you can make certain changes in your marketing strategy. So with this, the product development, new product development and its introduction gets completed. Now, in the new product development stages, you have seen that a product passes through so many litmus tests to finally get commercialized or introduced in the market. Still, we find that certain new products fail. So the next heading is why new products fail. So first is poor planning of a new product. Now, although you are maybe you devoting hell lot of time in development of new product, but in certain cases it might be possible the planning was not proper, or introducing the product at the wrong time, or the situation has changed. So, or the management is not aware of all this pros and cons. So poor planning on the part of management or marketing management can be one of the reasons for failure of the product. Lack of fit between the product benefits and customer needs may be another cause. Like there is something called marketing myopia. You have fallen in love with the concept, and though some figures are not correct, yet you want to introduce that into the market because you are fully convinced, but finally it doesn't matches with the customer's needs. Then there are chances that the product will fail. Introduction of a better product by competitor. So it is very much possible that within a short period of time after you have introduced a product, the competitor has come out with a new product, and which is totally similar to your product but with better features, and that's why they are winning in the market. So your product may fail in the market. Poor positioning may be another reason. Either it is over positioned or under positioned, and because of any of these reasons, it might be possible that the customers are not seeing this product of utility to them. So or their characteristic is not matching with the product's positioning or characteristic. So because of that reason also, the product may fail in the market. Then error in forecasting, which is highly likely because you cannot forecast the future at all. Who could have forecasted that a year will be lost because of a pandemic like COVID-19? And those new businesses or new products which were introduced in this phase, that is 2020, most of them, they might have failed, or they might not have introduced that product in the market, and there is huge losses, huge delay in introducing the product. So forecasting may go wrong either on the part of the management or on the part of the environment, because the entire circumstances may have changed once you have forecasted, and that may have gone wrong. So you will find vacant cafes, vacant shops and gyms all over, all around whenever you go to any of the market or mall during this 2020 because of Corona crisis. So improper timing is another reason for failure of new products. Like at the time of economic bottleneck, when people hesitate to spend money for products not necessary for daily needs, then such products may fail. Again, I will give an example of this COVID situation only. Many of the employees, they have lost their jobs and they have limited their spending, so they will not buy the luxury products, not take gym membership, because that is not a necessity. So those products which have an inelastic kind of demand, or which are very necessary for survival, people will go for that, but not for the new products. So that may be the reason for failure of new products. So likewise, in other years, other types of problem may be there, or you are introducing that during the economic slowdown, then the product will fail. Then change in technology may be another reason. Technological changes take place, new products with newer technology enters the market, especially in products like smartphones, and so the old model becomes obsolete very soon, and that fail within few months of its introduction. We may say that the product has failed because of new technology being introduced. Change in marketing environment can be another reason, which we have taken up. Economic slowdown, demographic profile, if it changes, then all this will lead to failure of the product if it is not conducive for the product. Lack of support from distribution channel may be another reason. Distributors, they may be loyal to certain big companies, and it is very difficult to break them and woo them from those competitors, or ask them to keep your product in their basket or in their shops. So that is the problem, that or they will not promote your product even if they are keeping it in their stores. So that may be the reason for failure of the product. Other reasons failure of new product may be overestimating the market size, which will cause overproduction resulting in losses. Poor design of new product, that it may not be attractive to the potential customers. They may see it very weird, and because of that they are not buying it. Producing it for the wrong segment of the market, such as selling a luxury product in an economically struggling region, then it will fail miserably in that region, because they don't have the purchasing power. Pricing it wrongly may be a problem. Too expensive, too cheap, both will lead to losses because people will not go for it. Poor advertisement or maybe another problem that will prevent a new product being known to the right customers. So if they don't know about the product, they will not go for it. So these are the reasons behind failure of new products. The next heading is product support services. So once you have sold off the product, then also the marketer's job will not end. They have to provide all kind of support services to the customers. They are also known as after sales services, which you have to provide to the customers for their long-term satisfaction and creating a kind of a loyalty. Nowadays, the marketers are talking about relationship marketing, whereby you want to build long-term relationship with your customers, and providing product support services or after-sale services is a way to that direction. So product support encompasses everything that can help maximize the customer's after-sales satisfaction, like providing all kind of parts, services, warranty, plus operator training. So all these things will be helpful in providing after sales services to the customers and building relationships. So after sales services is another name. It refers to various processes which make sure customers are satisfied with the products and services of the organization. Satisfied customers spread a positive word of mouth, plays important role in promoting brands and products. After sale services makes sure products and services meet or surpass the expectations of the customers. After sale services includes various activities to find out whether the customer is happy with the products or not. And also it is crucial aspect of sales management, and so you must not, the marketer must not ignore this very services, that is providing after sales services to the customers. Role of after sales services. Now it generates customer satisfaction, customer retention, customer loyalty, and helps in relationship marketing. Customers start believing in the brand and get associated with the organization for a longer duration. So if this company is introducing another product, then the customer will go for it because they are extremely satisfied with the after sales services for their previous product. So positive word of mouth publicity will also be there. A satisfied and happy customer brings more individuals and eventually more revenues for the organization. It strengthens the bond between the organization and the customers. There are different techniques of providing after sales services. Like sales professionals need to stay in touch with the customers even after the deal. So they cannot ever ignore the calls of dissatisfied customers or customers who need certain kind of services. Then provide all the possible services to the customers like installation, training if it is a technical product, repair and maintenance services, prompt exchange of broken and damaged products, listen to their grievances, queries, and take a prompt action. If there is a warranty call or a guarantee call, you have to provide that to them. Have a toll-free number and 24-hour after sales services or customer care services to them. Take feedback of the products and services from the customers. Promote annual maintenance contract and at a nominal rate. Transparent and favorable exchange policy should be there. Outsource customer service to get specialized service providers. Many of the banks, especially the international banks, they are outsourcing this customer services, and 24 hours customer service is provided to the customers. Make arrangements with distributors and dealers to provide the necessary services. So if you follow or adopt these techniques, the marketer will be able to provide the best after sales services to their customers. They will be satisfied and they will bring more and more businesses to the organization. To summarize, we can say new product development is a complete process of bringing a new product to the market. New products may be classified into major innovations, product improvements, product additions, and repositioned products. New product development involves the following stages: idea generation, idea screening and evaluation, concept development and testing, business analysis, product development, test marketing, commercialization, and review of market performance. After sales service refers to various processes which make sure customers are satisfied with the products and services of the organization. Thank you very much, students. This was New Product Development Module 8, Lecture 2.